Let's talk about hormones and herbs. God's awesome. Did I ever tell you God's awesome? He is such an amazing creator, and He gave us so many thousands and thousands of plants that we are barely even beginning to discover. And the things God created change lives. Our herb section, we call it God's weeds. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "A weed is but a plant whose virtue has yet to be discovered." And I believe everything God created has a purpose. Why did God create the world? He created it for us. He gave us a garden, all these amazing herbs, and He said to steward it well. Unfortunately, what we're doing is we're using man-made synthetic petrochemicals for our medicine and for our hormones. And why would we do that when God has given us such an abundance of amazing plants? And we've known about these plants for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And so why do we think this modern system we have is better? It's not. A man-made system is never better than God's system. So what's so cool about God is He knew we were going to need these plants, and so He made them to have different effects on the body. And why do certain herbs make us feel happy? And why do some herbs calm us down? And why do other herbs give us energy? It's because God loves us, and He gave us all of these things so that we could discover and we could find God through these plants. So I'm just going to share a few of my favorite herbs for hormones. I know hormones is a big general topic, but I want to give you some of my favorites. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you probably know the first one I'm going to talk about, just because I've seen it help the most people, and it's good old holy basil. Great name, holy basil, because there's like 40-some different varieties of basil, and this one's holy. There's only one holy basil, so make sure you choose holy basil. Our favorite one is by Cedar Bear. It's a liquid tincture you put under your tongue. You can get capsule forms of it. We have an essential oil that's holy basil, and it is awesome because I haven't seen other companies carry holy basil essential oil. So you can actually diffuse it into your room, and it's just so calming and so relaxing. What holy basil actually does is a whole lot of amazing things, but one thing it does is it just makes you go, it just makes you calm and relaxed. It doesn't make you sleepy. It just makes you feel like you can handle life and deal with it. And if you're going to cut me off in the road, that's your problem. And you just don't get all freaked out about things. It just helps you to get through the day. I've used holy basil for people in the most difficult, challenging situations. And I'm serious. I had a gal one time in Las Vegas who lost her son in a car accident. And I gave her holy basil, and she came back a month later and said that stuff saved her life. And so I have seen holy basil time and time again help people and change their lives. It stops the excessive release of cortisol from the adrenal glands that causes this, that's released, I should say, when the stress response occurs. And that cortisol release can cause weight gain around the middle. So holy basil can stop that. Holy basil is natural anti-inflammatory. It's used for all kinds of things over in Ayurvedic medicine in India, but it is one of our favorite plants, and because it helps so much with stress and anxiety, and it's going to build and strengthen the adrenal glands. The other herb I really like for the adrenals is licorice root. I want to give a quick plug for licorice root. It's used in a lot of Chinese medicine formulas, and if you have low blood pressure, that's adrenal fatigue, you feel weak, tired, dizzy when you stand up, and you're weak all the time, and you have major blood sugar fluctuations, licorice root will heal the adrenals. It'll cause your blood pressure to go up, which is needed for people who have really low blood pressure and poor circulation. So I like licorice root for that purpose. Another one of my favorite herbs for hormones in general, and it would arguably be my favorite herb overall for the hormonal system, is Maca. M-A-C-A, Maca. A lot of people know about Maca. It's been big for at least 10 years now, and there's a high demand for Maca, and for good reason. It's great for the adrenals and for the thyroid glands. And I have some products that I just love that people rave about. Now, you can get Maca in bulk. You can put powder, just throw it in a smoothie. You can get Maca in a little liquid tincture and just take it under the tongue. We have some products by a company called NHI. And they have macas that are specific for women, for fertility, for menopause, during menopause, post-menopause. For men, maca's great for men, for testosterone. It's great for women, for fertility. It's good for men and women. And this is a good note about plant, a little God plug here. God's a really intelligent designer. I mean, He's so smart. When you take Maca, the Maca knows if you're a man or a woman. God knows if you're a man or a woman. I know that sounds funny, but it's so true because Maca increases testosterone. So if you're a woman, should you be worried about taking Maca? No, because God knows you're a woman, and Maca won't do that to you. Maca does what your body needs because the things of God that are designed by God work in God's creations, and that includes you. That includes people. That's why synthetic man-made chemicals and synthetic man-made hormones don't work, because they're synthetic. They don't understand, they don't have the intelligence of God in them, and they will force an action on your body, man or woman. There's no intelligence behind it because there's no designer behind it that has the intelligence of our Creator. So quick plug for God there. But I love Maca. Take it in a variety of forms. Great for men, great for women, for a variety of issues. Another awesome herb, we call it an herb, but it's deer antler. It's literally the velvety tips of a deer antler. Don't worry, no deer are harmed in this process, but there's growth factors in this deer antler. And what it does is it stimulates new nerve growth, new cell growth. I had a woman one time, her name was Mary, and I gave her deer antler, I think for her spine, a spinal injury or something, because it's great for regrowing new nerves. But she came back and she's like, my hair and skin and nails, it's so beautiful, and my hair's growing in thicker and my nails are growing longer. I mean, it's awesome. Women get really excited about that stuff because it's important to them. And the deer antler has so many powerful growth factors that it helps with hair, skin, and nails. And athletes take it because it helps with their physical performance. It helps with strength and endurance and stamina. So deer antler is another one, good for men and women. It will work with your body type because, again, God's an intelligent designer. He knows what you need the best. So other herbs for the thyroid, for example, would be herbs like high in iodine. So your seaweeds, your black walnut's a good one. Kelp's a good one for the thyroid. Other good herbs for the adrenals. I will talk real quick about something called Chinese tonic herbs, or we can call them adaptogenic herbs. And this adaptogenic term is pretty cool because it helps your body adapt to what it needs. Again, it's because of the intelligence of God's in these plants. So if you need a quick pick-me-up in the morning, you can take an herb, it'll give you energy. You can take that same herb at night before bed, it'll make you tired. I experienced this. I'll just share with you. I went to Canada, was with North American Herb and Spice. I had learned about Chaga Mushroom. It's a tonic herb. It's a medicinal mushroom. And I took it in the morning. When we woke up, I'd never had Chaga tea before. I drank the Chaga and boom, I had energy, clarity. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. I could just see more clearly. If you've ever fasted or you've taken certain plants or herbs that just give you amazing clarity, Chaga did that for me. I was out all day. We were collecting wild herbs and mushrooms in the forest and on the trees and trying to get the berries before the bears. Had a great day, got back. I was a little bit tired and I thought, man, I'll take some Chaga. Maybe it'll give me a pick-me-up. I took Chaga and I was out. It made me sleep. It put me to sleep because, again, it's a Chinese adaptogenic tonic herb that helps the body adapt to what it needs in the moment. So some of these herbs that do this are ashwagandha, one of the best herbs for both the adrenals and the thyroid gland. Astragalus root, schisandra berry, been used throughout Chinese history for beauty for women. It's one of the best herbs for beauty. Why? It's also a great herb for the liver. It helps the liver to detox, and if you have a clean liver, you'll have healthier body and healthier skin. So schisandra berry is really powerful for that. Also, shatavari is another herb that is a great herb for women, and it's another tonic herb. Licorice root, which I briefly mentioned, jogulin, all the ginsengs. Everybody's heard of ginseng. Well, there's all kinds of different ginsengs. I have a product called Shennong Ginseng, and it's a blend of 6 ginsengs, and it's a concentrated 10-to-1 extract. It's probably the most powerful thing I have for hormones and for the adrenals. It's called ginseng, Shennong Ginseng. And it will give your adrenals a big-time boost. And this is a way athletes get a leg up in sports. Deer antler, I already mentioned. A lot of pro athletes were taking deer antler, and it kind of became a controversial issue for a while. A lot of Olympic athletes, like the Russians, when they were dominating the Olympics in the 80s, they were taking a lot of herbs. They knew about rhodiola, and they knew about a lot of these Russian herbs and these adaptogenic herbs that help give them strength and energy and vitality. So use herbs. Use God's medicine. God needs to be put back in his rightful place in our medical system, and that's because he's a brilliant, amazing, beautiful designer that gave us everything we need, and we don't need the man-made system, especially when it comes to hormones. So ancient wisdom used herbs, and we've lost that in our culture because we've abandoned God, we've pushed him out of the medical system, and we've replaced it with a man-made synthetic version that's really only out there for profit, and it's harming people because it's not the way God would have intended it. So here's to your happy, healthy hormones. Choose herbs. They will bring life force to your hormonal system, because only, like I love to say, the one who designed you is the only one who can heal you. God bless.